Call the meeting to order. Excuse me. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is July 5th. This is the select board for Lee, 7 o'clock. Our first order of business are the minutes for open session minutes for June 21st. Although one of our members didn't get a copy, so I think we're gonna hold that line item for next meeting.
Do we need
That's
a motion
unless,
on that?
yeah, I think.
She's got, it's
motion
marked
to
draft anyway, so.
Yeah, motion to table until next meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next we have public hearings, which we have none. Third line of business are public comments. At this time, I'd like to invite anybody who has a comment forward, and we will take them in turn. Jim had his hand up first. Kathy, sorry, beat you.
Well, and Kathy, you're on the agenda.
Yeah,
You're next.
She's always got something to say.
Hi, Jim Castro, 111 William Road. I just got a question. Are other town boards supposed to run their meetings like you guys run yours? Like you have your agenda, then you have your public comments, then you start going down the list. You talk about something, and before you vote on it, or if you don't vote on it, you just talk about it. You ask the public if they have any comments and stuff.
Right.
The reason why I'm saying that, I was at the planning board meeting on Zoom last week, and they started their meeting. They had their public comments. Nobody said nothing, and then they started talking about the Eagle Mill. That's why I was listening. And after they got done talking about it, me and Kathy Hall had our hands up on the screen.
Yeah.
And two members were visibly upset because we had our hands up. And one of them, well, we're not doing this tonight. We already had public comments and this and that. Isn't this supposed to be a public meeting? I mean,
Yeah, and I guess,
people have questions. We don't know what they're talking about until.
I guess how I would respond, Jim, is that, we actually don't have to hold public comment. We do, and really the discussion is at the discretion of the chair of the board. So any public meeting, the chair has the discretion to either entertain discussion or limit as he so fits. They had a public comment line item, that's what that's for. But this public body, like if we go down our general business, unless you're material to the line item, we don't really have to entertain any discussion.
Well,
It's not
but
something.
you do.
But we always have.
It's not something that.
Every meeting I've been
Right.
to for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
But, one thing after that was my neighbor was doing something, and I had questions or I had answers for them. They were asking themselves, I had information I could have told them.
Sure.
But I mean, isn't that part of being in a public meeting? Why have a public meeting if you're not going to come, I can come up here and my public comments and say ABCs 20 times. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So would you suggest to other boards that we have questions or comments on stuff?
Right.
We don't know until they talk about it a lot of times. So I would like to see you guys make a suggestions to these other boards. I mean, the Tri-Town Health Department, they didn't have public comments still about a year ago
Yeah.
until we got on them. So I don't know.
I have to say, it's highly irregular not to allow public comments.
Yeah, I mean,
in my
even for a couple
experience.
minutes.
And until you get to, if there's gonna be a vote on something, you can close the meeting to public comments if there's gonna be further discussion just amongst the board.
Right.
for it.
Absolutely.
But it's, in my experience, I've never.
Yeah, they were done talking about everything, and me and Kathy had our hands up. We both had comments. We could have had questions on something. I had questions on that hotel thing up there. I didn't dare raise my hand, because I don't want to get. You know what I mean? We're across from the state police barracks. They want to do that.
Yeah, I was actually on that also,
Yeah.
and I actually noticed that, Jim,
Yeah.
and I was kind of surprised.
Yeah,
Because,
and just the way they acted. Oh, we're not doing this thing.
Yeah.
Take your ball and go home, kind of thing.
I did notice, and I am more than happy to find out why and just speak.
I would appreciate that.
I don't have a problem, because I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
But
I never had that happen before.
But it wasn't like a 3-hour meeting and at the
No.
end of a line.
I understand that. I understand that.
So I didn't understand it, but not on that board anymore, and I'm just a member of the public too on the planning board.
Yep.
And, you know, I was kind of surprised, but I don't know what the reason was, but I'm more than happy to.
I mean, like on one of them, my neighbor did something, and I couldn't even ask a question, you know,
Yeah,
because maybe I want to do the same thing, you know.
right.
But I did have questions on that hotel thing, you know.
Yeah.
But
And Jim, I'd suggest that if you still have questions, you could submit them to.
well, now I can because I know what's going on. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But
Right.
all right, I appreciate it.
All
Thank
right,
you.
no problem.
Thank you, Jim.
Still hearing public comments. Kathy, do you have one?
And yes, being concerned about what a public comment is and why it's at the beginning of the meeting, I did call Sean this morning and said, I'd like to talk about such and such. I know I'm on the agenda, but is this other thing public comment? He was very nice and texted me back and said, yes, do it at public comment. So I've always wondered, why is the public comment at the beginning and not at the end? So you sit and you listen to everything, you take your little notes, and then public comment, then you talk about, but at any rate, we're fine.
We could restructure that too. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that when I was on the board before, it was always at the end.
Yeah,
Public comment, so that after we did all the discussions and we allowed publics to talk, at the end of the meeting, we always had public comment, so at some point in the intervening time frame, it got shifted, and I
Yeah.
don't know,
yeah,
probably none of the three of us know
I don't
why
know.
it got shifted, so we could talk about it and
right.
perhaps put it at the end again.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know why.
It's all right, but this board always lets people speak, so that's good. But at any rate, a shout out to the Lee Historical Society for their outstanding exhibit, Lee Answers the Call, at the Lee Library for the month of July to honor Lee's veterans dating back from the Revolutionary War. There are 2,400 names listed. The exhibit is breathtaking. I hope everybody makes an effort to see this display. It is a wonderful tribute to those who fought for our liberty and for the town of Lee. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
That's at the library.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Anybody else here have a public comment they would like to make? Go ahead.
My speech.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And actually, we should be identifying yourself. I'm not sure if Kathy said who she was, but please, yeah, for the folks at home.
So I'm Dave Carrington of East Street and Lee. So my route to town is by the Fairmount Cemetery here up here. I want to tell you, I've never seen the cemetery look so good. All the headstones are neatly clipped. I don't know who's doing the work, but I think somebody ought to say, hey, good job, well done.
Okay.
And it really looks nice.
I think we can pass that along, don't you think?
Yeah, we have a cemetery crew as part of the DPW, so I'm sure they'll be happy that their hard work was appreciated.
Yeah. Very good, thank you.
Anyone else? So that being said, we're gonna move on into general business. First, we have Cultural Council Committee Report. Do we have anyone from the Cultural Council? Please come up, give us an update.
I'm glad to. So I'm Robin O'Hare, and I'm the chair of the council, and we are doing wonderful things. So last fall, we had an open house and kind of we got up to 10 people on our council, but then one had to drop out because she was on too many committees.
Can happen.
So I think including myself, I think we have 9 people, which is really nice because we can share the work. So, you know, the town has given us a matching grant every year, and one of my dreams was to start a summer music series. So this is our 2nd year. We had to shorten it because of other events going on in the park, but we have 2 performers every Sunday, I opened the series this past Sunday. I don't get paid because I'm on the cultural
Yeah.
council, but everyone else gets paid with that money. And it's wonderful to be able to pay musicians, you know, especially to play safely outside and give them the exposure. So from July 3rd through August 7th, we'll be having, it's from 12:30 to 2:30. We got 3 restaurants this year who are giving a 10% discount for takeout lunch, and we have little coupons we made. And with our money that we can use for business stuff, we made posters, and we made a schedule of events, and we also made a schedule of all the events that we're funding this year, which is quite a few. We had, I think there were 60 applications this year.
Wow.
Wow, that's a
And,
lot.
you know, we did not have that much money, but we had a lot of new applications, so we're excited. We've funded library events, concerts, school events, stuff for elder people. And I'm honored to be part of the Cultural Council. I know there have been, in the past, some rough years, but it seems like we've come out of it and we're going full speed ahead. We have a great group of people who, like, we're doing advertising. We've split up. We're doing advertising online for our events. We have different council members who will contact the newspapers, the radio stations. So it's so nice to have enough people to share the burden, because otherwise you don't get a whole lot done. And there's a new overseeing person for Western Mass from the Boston Cultural Council. She's going to come and visit. We're having a meeting July 20th, I think, because we have to, they redid the website and threw out everything that was there. We lost all our past stuff. We lost our mission statement, which luckily I had copied because we wrote a mission statement. We lost our priorities, which I sort of remembered, but we're having a meeting based on feedback, because I created a feedback form that we've been handing out at events we've funded and at the park for our concerts, so we know what people are most interested in, and we're required to do that every 2 years anyway. So this later in July, we're going to have a meeting to recreate our priorities.
Nice.
Anyone is welcome to join and come to our meetings. We're still doing Zoom meetings, only partly for safety, because we have a lot of older people on the council, but also because of people's schedules, which are crazy. Or stop by in the park for a concert, get it. So the restaurants that have offered the 10% discount are the Starving Artist, 51 Park Street, and the Locker Room.
Nice.
A lot of the restaurants that we went to aren't open on Sunday, so we were thinking maybe one year we'd do it in the evening when they're open for dinner,
Yeah.
if they get lights in the pavilion. That would be fun. But I'm really pleased with the council and with the members we have. So, I don't know, do you have any questions?
I do, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Through the chair. I know you said you received 60 applicants, and I'm trying to take some notes, because obviously our.
That's around, I mean, it might have been 63. We
That's
funded
okay.
something like 30.
That's what I was after, how many were you
We
able
funded
to
between
fund?
30 and
Somewhere around
34, and
30.
no one got
That's
what they,
great.
well, no one ever gets what they ask for.
Right. Isn't that
We-
true
we-
about life, kind of?
It's always that way. But, so,
Sometimes
you
it's a
know,
good
some things were really
All right.
small. We do have a priority of focusing on how it's gonna benefit the town of Lee.
Mm-hmm.
We had some, you know, they had nothing to do with Lee.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that made it easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, our priority is to enhance culture and life in Lee for all residents.
Great.
So, yeah, I think it was about 30. Who we funded is on the website now. The website's really hard to navigate, and every town has a little web page that's almost impossible to find. But it lists everyone for this past year, nothing for anything before, which is a shame.
Have you inquired as to whether they can, IT can get anything at all?
No.
No, okay. All right. I didn't know. That's a shame to lose.
I know, I mean, they warned us it was gonna happen, and I didn't believe them.
Okay.
Well,
So anyway, so we're starting fresh.
And when's your usual meeting day and time? If people, they should be able to find it on our website, should be, under meetings and agenda.
Yeah, I submitted the agenda to the town, and it's already been submitted, so, and there's a Zoom link,
Yeah.
and everyone is welcome, and the new person from Boston is hopefully gonna show up, because she wants to meet us.
Is there generally, like, you meet every third Wednesday or something, like, is there?
We meet maybe,
Okay.
our big meeting is the voting meeting, which is in December.
Okay.
And then we meet in the spring, sometimes if it's just little things, like we met in the spring to finalize the plans for the summer concert series. And then we're gonna meet in the summer to create our priorities, and then we're gonna meet in the fall to have an open house and maybe get some more new members.
Okay.
And so that's about 4 times a year. It's not written in stone, but it's always, we always notify
Sure.
the
Well, it has
town.
to be a public meeting, so that's fine.
And we also are trying to educate people. A lot of people don't know what the cultural council is or what it does. So, like, I'm there every Sunday, and we're rotating everyone else through so we can talk to people, tell them about the cultural council. And
When you say you're there every Sunday, where are you every Sunday?
right there.
Chamber booth?
no, the concerts are in the pavilion, and then right by the path, we have a table,
Okay.
we have a banner, we have all this literature, everything,
Okay,
and there's always someone there, and we talk to people.
great. That's good to know. Just want to make sure it's clear for everybody out. That's why, in fact, that's.
And we
because
have
people don't
posters
know.
up.
Well, because people don't know what all our different groups do, that's why we're asking you to come in and tell us a little.
Oh,
bit.
yeah, I'm honored to come in, and I'm really glad you asked, because, yeah, it's important. So, thank you.
Those are all my
And
questions.
you're on CTSB, maybe we can tell people that.
And CTSB is one of our sponsors. They're filming every concert,
That's good.
and they're putting it online. It's so cool.
But it's every Sunday at 11?
Very good.
12:30 to 2:30.
12:30 to 2:30, very good. And those
Two
will run-
performers every Sunday from last Sunday through August 7th.
Okay. I missed last Sunday because I went down, I thought it was. at
There was
11.
too much going on last Sunday. A lot of people missed last Sunday, but it's going to be on CTSB.
That's great, thank you.
Robin, other than that, you said, what other types of things, just if people want to know what else other than music you're into?
So like this year so far, I don't remember, we funded Lara, I forget her last name, she did a writing workshop at the library, and that was really successful, and we funded that. She wrote us a beautiful thank you note, and we funded the high school band was created, a composer was coming to write a special piece for the band, and we fully funded that.
That's great.
And we also, the Flying Cloud, they do a lot of school stuff, and they do residencies. They're doing a residency this year, and we gave them as much as we could towards their residency. Berkshire, what is it, OLE, Ollie? Yeah. They hit up every cultural council in the Berkshires, so we gave them a little bit.
That's good.
Right? But there was a guy recently, his name was Tom Truss, and he did this whole thing based on literature and creativity and writing, and he, that was in April. He was at the Lee Library. I did a program that got funded called Blues and the Poetry of the Harlem Renaissance. That was really good. And I also, I applied for 2 separate grants, very different. I mean, I obviously didn't get the money I asked for, but The second one, I wrote this program with a musician friend of mine called The Melting Pot of American Music, and we're going to do it for the Lee Central, and we bring like 20 instruments, and I mean, I think the kids are going to love it. So I'm excited to finally get to do that because we couldn't because of COVID. And can you think of anything else we funded?
No, I think you're doing a great job, Ron.
He's Brandon's on the council. So, yeah, and I also like some of the things I do when we get the list of people. I create a spreadsheet of if we funded them before, how much they got before,
Right.
and I give that to everyone on the council. So I spend a lot of time doing back-end work for the council, which I don't know if anyone ever really did before, but it really makes things easier in the long run.
Thank you.
Great, wow, yeah.
So we have a secretary who takes notes and minutes, and then
Yeah, I was
we have
gonna say,
a,
how many members is your?
with me, we have 9 at the moment, which is the
9.
most that's ever been in years. I mean, when I came back to the council, we ended up with just me and Valerie for 1 year. That was a little scary. And it's really exciting that we built it back up.
Great.
That's great. Well, thank you for your dedication and your time.
Yeah, sounds like you've
Sure.
been busy.
Yeah, well, it's an honor to serve Lee. I love this town, so. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have the Youth Commission update. Kathy.
Okay, I'll introduce myself.
There you go.
I'm Kathy Hall, and I'm the chairwoman of the Lee Youth Commission. And first of all, a big shout out to the Lee Department of Public Works. They spread the safety surfacing at the Lee Athletic Field this past week, and they will be installing new playground equipment at the South Lee Playground within the next 2 weeks.
Awesome.
The DPW, I just need to add, they are awesome. I don't think people in town know how many departments within the Department of Public Works that exist. The cemetery that was mentioned tonight, water, the roads, sewer, they're fantastic. And they have a huge to-do list that they keep plugging at. And, you know, in terms of the number of people that are in the DPW, it's amazing they have accomplished what they've accomplished. And many people just think, well, it's really slow, and the roads and this and that. But they have other things besides the roads. And as was said just earlier, the cemetery just looks beautiful, you know, because it's a sacred place. And you want it to be that you're honoring your families. And then the Lee Youth Commission is offering new activities for July and August. On Mondays from 5 to 6:30, pickleball for all age groups. And on Tuesdays from 4:30 to 5:30, kickball for all elementary age children. Now today, besides kickball, the children had the opportunity to paint with magic markers, t-shirts. Everything was free thanks to our co-chair, Janet Warner. And the kids had a wonderful time, even though the rain threatened on and off, they were able to still hold that activity. And our next meeting is on Wednesday, May 13th. And we hope that people will start joining us as we continue to move forward with activities in Lee. So that's all we have for right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy.
All right. Next order of business, we have a couple gas permits here. I've got 25 Franklin Street in front of me. This application is for the installation of a new gas service at 25 Franklin Street.
25,
Looks like we have a competent person, an excavator. the DPW has already approved, and the police. And if I go, there's the map.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we approve and sign off that we have the chair sign off on the permit for the gas installation at 25 Franklin Street.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have another application for a permit. This is also to install new gas service. This one is 178. I believe is it Center Street or is it West Center? Because the map is a little confused.
Actually, they're on Dublin. They're on Dublin.
They're actually on Dublin, yep.
That's what they're actually
Yep.
gonna connect on Dublin, which is off of West Center. So because the note from the DPW is absolutely no cutting or digging
No
on
cutting
Center
on
Street,
Center, yep, I
'cause
saw
we just
that.
recently paved it, and they don't want anything.
So this is 178, the location says 178 Center Street, new service to come off Main on Dublin Street from middle to the road. Okay, so it is
Yeah, I
on
think it's
Dublin.
coming in the side of the building, as opposed to the frontage. That's the way it looks on their
Yes.
sketch.
Yeah, and I think the dashed is proposed,
Yes.
so that would only be disrupting Dublin Street.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we approve the installation of the new gas service at 178, I guess, West Center Street.
I'll second that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll find the right,
Let's hope.
if there's,
Off of Dublin, there's not a whole
Yeah.
lot of other places to go.
That's right.
if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That'll bring us to the cannabis impact, which updated agreement to sign. I don't actually have an agreement.
We don't.
Is that-
We've got the last year's agreement, or 2000, yeah. But we don't have the document, so we probably have to table it.
Yeah, I don't have that one in front of me, so.
Yeah, there's a bit of information, but,
I was at the meeting where we discussed sort of, the use of the impact money. You know, one thing we had discussed was, first responder light tower being funded, out of the impact money. Obviously, it's, school resource officer, a number of other things for kind of public health and safety. I forget what the total, where we kind of are with the whole balance of everything, but that's kind of just a couple things, but not having it in front of us, I don't think we can, really make, an action here, so.
And I'm not sure that I can be part of that action for this particular piece.
Right.
no, that's
Yeah.
true, yeah, and it only takes two anyway, quorum, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, it's probably be best to wait till Chris gets back from his time off, and we take a look at it. Because I noticed that the copy I have doesn't have a signature from Canada Provisions either. So generally, we have them sign first, and, okay, all right. I'd make a motion that we put this off until our next meeting.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, why not, you should do that one.
I'll second that, yeah, sorry.
And then you and I will say, okay, I vote yes.
All those in favor, aye.
Yep, so I'll make a note, Bob, in the notes that I forward, in case somebody doesn't
Yes.
watch.
Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you.
Yep.
So next we have a board and committee guide acceptance. So I have the guide and I went through it. I do have kind of number of grammatical spelling errors to work through. But that, I don't know if we would
Which copy you have?
go,
No, we
is
actually.
there a couple different copies out there?
Well, that's what I'm wondering what you
Yeah.
have, because actually, turn to your last page, see if it says selectmen or select board of that. The last board, on the, turn that over. What's it say?
Select board,
Okay, so
appoint
you have-
select board.
Yeah, because that used to say selectmen.
Selectmen,
And then
yeah.
all through the document, it said town manager instead of town administrator, so
Mm-hmm.
I had met with Chris before he left, the day before he left, so he tried to do this really fast. I gave him a highlighted copy, so why don't if you found other mistakes, I don't want grammatical mistakes when it goes out. I think it's better.
Yeah, there's really just a couple things, so maybe we can, maybe we can
Yeah.
also push this, or
Sure.
I don't know if it would,
Well, what changes do you have? Did you have them marked there? Maybe we can just
I
make
do,
note of them.
that's what I was gonna say, I don't know
Yeah.
if it's makes sense to sort of, approve as noted, and then we can each kind of hand in our marked up copy for review.
So what are
that-
your,
I've got, let's see here.
page 9?
Yeah, page 9. In the 4.2 chair,
Yep.
you know, the second to last sentence starts, however, chairs often reserve their votes to either, and then it's one thing, and then or to breaking a tie. So how I was reading that should be, however, chairs often reserve their votes to break a tie. Right? No
So you
ing.
can strike ing.
That's what I was gonna suggest, strike ing there.
What do you think? But I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't think it certainly doesn't change any intent.
No, I don't think so. And that's what I think I only had one or two more. Here we are, page 13, 5.7.
Yep.
Access to Memorial Hall. Meetings scheduled in the after normal business hours. I was just gonna strike in the.
Yeah. Which line are you right at the top?
Right up top here.
Let's say,
Yeah.
require access via the elevator. In the
Yeah.
after, yeah.
I think it might have been
Scheduled
in the
after.
afternoon and then
Yeah.
got revised, and
Okay, I think that makes sense.
that's, I don't know if I even have another one.
Right.
So with those corrections,
I was trying to,
I'm also not the best with grammar and spelling either, so I'm sure,
there's,
yeah, that's,
I read it and I didn't even catch those two, so.
so I mean, with those,
yeah.
I think we could approve this, and
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be, it's meant to be a working document anyway, so I don't have a problem if there's a motion.
I'll move that we accept the Town of Lee Volunteer Handbook, the 2022 edition as written.
I'll second that.
With those corrections.
I'll second that, with those two minor changes.
If there's nothing further, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that brings us all the way down to Rest of River Forum, tentative date, August 18th. So at this point, I'd like to remind everybody that we've heard you. Anybody who's here who wants to make a comment, about the Rest of River agreement, I think I would ask that we hold specific comments about the Rest of River agreement until the public forum. If you have something that you'd like to say about the date, because that's really all that we're really trying to accomplish here, from my understanding, unless there's something different, is actually setting a date for the forum. So if that fits. 6 p.m.
That's what we're proposing.
That's what we're proposing right now, and I think we were gonna talk about it, and unless either of you, or unless there was significant issue from the public, I think that's what we were gonna do here today, is set a date.
It's a Thursday, right? Yes.
Yeah. Well, let me check. It
is a Thursday.
It is a Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday, August 18th, 6 p.m., and we're planning to hold it at the auditorium.
The seat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. High school auditorium, AKA the Z.
One thing.
6, right? 6 p.m.?
6 p.m., correct.
One thing I was gonna talk to Chris about and also I wanted to talk to you folks to see what you thought of, as whether it's a good idea or not. And that is, if on our website, we could have a place for people to shoot their
Submit.
legal questions. If they've reviewed and they know what they would like to have an attorney address, because it's easier if the attorney knows what you want to address, they can do a little research or whatever on the question. So I think that if our website had the ability to take that information in, you know, that it would give people attorneys a little heads up time to do their research and due diligence. I know I have several, I've been highlighting and making notes that I'm hoping to put on there, things that I'd like an answer to that, you know. And that way everybody can see, you know, these are my concerns, not that I have to sign my name to it, but, you know, the fact that I have legal questions about certain aspects of it. I mean, I'm gonna ask it anyway, so might as well get put out there,
Yeah.
you know, so everybody knows what I'm asking.
I don't know that we have like a specific area right now on the website to like submit
Yeah.
comments.
I'm
That would
pretty
be
sure
nice
not.
though.
Yeah.
That, you know, now that you think about it, that could be just a nice kind of conduit for a lot of different things.
There must be the ability, because somebody wrote us a letter, it's in there somewhere, I don't know that we're gonna have time to, or should be talking about it now, because it's not on our agenda.
Right.
But somebody had written, and it sounded like we do have something like info at town, like, you know, there's some
yeah.
kind of a.
And that's what I was gonna suggest, is that maybe we can have Chris put out a posting saying, submit your comments here.
Yeah, an
you know, to
email, and
this
then we
email.
can put it, transfer it,
Take those,
question
copy
to
them
a
in.
location.
And then you can see what people have, what comments or questions people have submitted so far, yeah.
Well, we could also keep it, I mean, if people are embarrassed to ask a question, we could also just say, we won't put your name by it, we'll just
Right.
put the question
Keep it
out there.
anonymous,
So
yeah.
people don't feel uncomfortable, you know, asking the question, because some people
It's
would be
intimidating,
uncomfortable
yeah,
with
putting
that.
your,
Yeah,
putting yourself
Putting
out there
your
when
name.
you don't necessarily
Yeah,
want to, yeah.
And that's okay. But we could put whatever the question is, we can put out there.
Yeah, let's do that, we'll have, Chris put out a posting with it'll either be info at, or, you know, to the select board, or, some other email.
You'll speak to Chris about that?
Yeah, I'll touch base with Chris about that.
Okay, great. That would be number 4. I know we have 2 Cs in there, it confuses me now when I'm trying to take the notes, but I'll hit it to whoever's gonna do the notes,
Yeah.
I'll make sure they get it. That would be E, actually F. Do you think we need, I mean, so you're just gonna have a discussion, I don't think we need to have a vote on anything, just free form it, and then come back next meeting maybe to say, this is what we're hoping to do, let the public know.
Should we just have a vote on the date and time?
Oh, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to make the motion that we have a Rest of River forum at the high school auditorium on Thursday, August 18th at 6 PM
I'll
to
second.
discuss legal avenues to stop the PCB dump.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Gail,
Yeah, August is,
come on up.
Just so people at home can hear you, Gail, that's all.
seems like it's a month where a lot of people are gonna be gone, so, will people be able to write their questions and have them answered at the
Yeah.
forum if they
That's
can't
what
make
we were
it?
just saying. We
Okay,
want
I
people
didn't
to
hear all that.
Email it in, email their questions in.
But
So
I'm-
we can do it, and then it's CTSB, hopefully we'll, make sure that they're
Videotape
there.
it, yeah.
So people will be able to hear the answers if they can't make the meeting and they're gone.
Okay, so the questions will be
Well,
asked.
if we get them
they're not-
ahead of time, that's what I'm saying, let's get them
Okay.
ahead of time.
Yeah,
And if we don't, if this just generates more questions, then we had discussed about having a follow-up meeting, which we won't really know until we find out how this meeting goes, as to whether we do a follow-up with
Okay.
more questions.
okay,
Because sometimes your question generates 2 or 3 other questions.
okay. There's gonna be an open session to ask other questions not related to this, right?
Not related to the
Not to-
agreement or
To the,
the
to the forum,
forum date?
yeah.
You missed public comment, Gail, but I'll absolutely,
Oh.
after we discuss the rest of this.
All right, I was
can
like, that's
recognize
all
you
right, I
again.
can wait till next
Yeah.
time anyway.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so Gail, I think just to reiterate, we're gonna put out a posting for people to submit comments to an email. And they can always bring physical letters down to the clerk or whoever at town hall, that's always an option too, so. one way or another, if you have questions, I'm sure, you know, you've got a month and a half to get them to us, so.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the date? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I'll talk to Chris about a posting, we'll get that going
Great.
soon. So I think that's gonna conclude our general business for tonight. Pending business, we have none. Town administrator, he's not here, but I do have that the revenue and expense reports are for the period ending June 30th, 2022, are likely in our office for a review, if anyone would like to review expense reports. And yeah, unless either of you would like to say anything, or Gail, did you have something you wanted to?
I was just curious. Okay.
Sure, come on up.
I'm just curious if there's a way to have the public, the agenda for the month, put on a board outside, like in glass or whatever, so people could just come in and see the agenda. I don't know, if, you know.
Yeah, we have a posting, we have a bulletin board right out in
And
front of.
it's in the book.
Yeah,
I didn't see the book the other night when I came in.
Okay. And it should always be there. So
Yeah.
we'll have to
I don't know,
check.
maybe it was there. I didn't see it though.
Okay.
yeah. As far as month, like we have two pretty, this month we had three, or last month we had 3 meetings, but usually every month we have 2 meetings and they're every other Tuesday. And as far as like a monthly agenda,
Oh, okay,
I
that
don't know.
doesn't happen.
Yeah,
That just
it
tells the
doesn't-
meetings,
Depending
okay.
on what happens, one meeting or another, some things
Right.
might carry over, we might, you know.
Okay.
I don't think we can necessarily tell you at our first meeting what we're gonna be, everything that we're gonna be talking about at our next meeting, you know what I mean?
Well, you have the open session, of course. Okay, I was hoping for, so that book has, like, if I want to go to the planning board and I show up, I'm on the wrong day or something, it will be in the book to tell me.
Also online, you just go to town.
I know, I didn't have my phone and I was
yeah.
like, and I was over here and I was like
Just
trying to get
came
into
right
the
in.
building and there wasn't
Yeah,
even
the other,
and so I
that
just thought.
can be tricky
so-
too, cause although, they're posted down in the actual foyer, right?
Yes, they're
So-
in a book, right in, it's always open to the public, by the
Yeah,
way.
that door is never locked. Jinx.
There you go, there you go.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I've got a couple of things.
Yeah, sure, go ahead, Bob.
I've gotten a couple of phone calls, and I've had people stop me in Price Chopper, and there are a lot of rumblings on the community website on Facebook about the Eagle Mill
Yes.
and the way that it's been let go, the maintenance has been let go. And Chris had said that Jeff would probably be willing to come in and talk to us. I don't know that it's necessary that he comes in and talk to us, but I think I would suggest that we reach out to him and ask him, I mean, you know, if my lawn looked like that, I'm sure I'd hear about it from my neighbors. And
Yeah.
I think if we can reach out to him and see if there's something he can do about the maintenance of the front of that property, that would make a lot of people happier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing, and I think, well, I'm sure those that were at the planning board meeting heard the same thing from planning board members, and that was one of the things you had your hand up about, I think, Jim? Yeah, you got it. And I agree, and I know that at one point in time, I mentioned it here, that the planning board was gonna have him come in and talk to them, and then all of a sudden, I went to the meeting, checked in, and he wasn't there. So it's like, what happened? So then I think the chair said, officially write to him and ask him to come to the next meeting, but then that was the second meeting where people were talking and he wasn't there still. So I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Well, I wonder if we can just ask Chris to reach out to him and say if there are
Absolutely.
these concerns, and you don't have to come to a meeting, but you have to clean up the front of the property.
Yeah, I don't think that's an inappropriate way to go about it.
I don't
at
think so
all.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll,
It'd be great if he wanted to come to a meeting, but I don't know.
Right.
He may not like giving us where he is right now.
Yeah, I'll talk to Chris about that as well, and you both are welcome to share your concerns as always. You have something else?
Yeah, and then the other thing is, which we can't talk about here because it's a legal matter, but I'd like to have Gordon be able to be brought up to speed with the concerns with the reservoir access road.
Yes.
And I did shoot an email to Jeremiah today asking for an update, but I think it'd be great if we could meet with him just to ascertain where we are and where he thinks we're going.
Sure.
Not about you two, but I am more than willing to do that. Because it's going to be an executive session, I'm more than happy to do that on not a regularly scheduled meeting. If we need to get together.
Yes.
It'd be the sooner the better, I believe.
Absolutely.
Because things could move pretty fast and we need to get
Well,
updated.
I think things are moving fast, that's the
Yeah.
point. So.
And that's why I'd love to get in a room with the attorney and get updated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably smart. I'll also double check with him to see if there's any other legal matters we might need an update for as well. Maybe we can knock all those out. Or see what the best course of action is to get us all apprised of the issues as needed. But yeah, thanks, Bob. Anything else?
Nope, that's it, thank you.
Gordon, do you have anything?
I don't have
You'd like to
anything other
add?
than what we've already done. I think that's
Okay.
pretty much it. I don't know if anybody else does, but I'm good.
Our next regular meeting is July 22nd. I don't know where I got that from. July 19th, 2022. I probably read the last number. And if there's nothing further, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you all.